So welcome back, guys. Actually, a lot of you commented on my Prism review that you were switching from RME or you're planning on, and I wanted to make this video initially because Dark Soul uh, asked whether it's a good idea to switch from the RME ADI2, which he has, which I had as well, and if it would be a good upgrade, and how's the headphone amp. So I just wanted to explain a few things when it comes to my experience switching from RME to Prism. So first of all, it's a good upgrade when it comes to the sound quality. So RME is amazing. They switched from AKM chips to Saber because of the manufacturing issues, and the whole thing burned down. The AK plant, but you know the story. There are options in the RME interface, especially the ADI2 for the filters when it comes to the chip. You don't have that with the Prism, quite obviously. They're using proprietary chips inside, and I can tell you those sound better. That's it. Yeah, and it's very hard to explain in words how different it sounds, but what I can tell you is the depth of the sound stage is a little bit better. You will hear more details, and the micro details, especially in the bass and middle, the bass and the mid department, is yeah, it's quite obvious. There's a difference there. It's not night and day, but it's obviously there. So the biggest issue, okay, and just before I go to the issues, you also have a DSP, right, in the ADI2. So you don't have that here. If you really need those, I don't know, like 5+2 bands for the EQ, which I used for sort of a room correction, you have to use something else, either Trinov or Direct. I wouldn't use anything else. So I use that in the box, and I don't care about the DSP chip at this point. So it's not really that, not much of a difference there. So headphone amp. You asked about the headphone amp. I think it's good on the Lyra. Obviously, it's very good. The only downside I see is when it comes to IEMs. I have one tailor-made, and from All Clair, and I love those for specific things. Now I wouldn't mix and master on it for sure, but I used it for mixing for a short period of time as well, and I was using the ADI2's IEM output, so that 0 ohm output, and that's just, yeah, it's better for that. So the Prism cannot match that when it comes to IEMs, but for anything else, proper headphones, yeah, I would say it's better than the ADI2. Now let's go to the bad part. It's the driver and the efficiency, the round trip latency, all of that. Switching, especially from RME, which is the industry leading, I would say, in performance and stability, there's a huge difference. Why I'm making this video again is because right now I'm learning Studio One, and Studio One happened to have like crackly noises and everything, and I already wrote a message to technical support. Turns out I need to increase the buffer for the Prism driver for it to work properly with Studio. It's not just Studio One. So for instance, with the same project in Ableton Live, I could use maybe 256 buffer for the RME. Now I need to use 1/1000 for Prism for the same performance. It's crazy. So it's not even close. That's what I'm saying. I work in the box. I work with MIDI. I use a lot of plugins, and I'm not saying I cannot work with it. But right now I'm recording with over 4000 buffer, just to ensure that there will be no problems. Okay, there is, as I said in my review video, there is an option to change the ASIO driver latency, or however they call that, ASIO base, but it's pretty much just a delay. It doesn't work. If I change that from 2 milliseconds to anything else, it craps itself after, I don't know, 2 minutes. Okay, so it's pretty useless in that sense. So yeah, if you need performance and efficiency and very good round trip latency, I could easily get 2.1 millisec with the RME round trip latency. You will never get that with the Prism, or like you have to be extremely minimalistic with your projects to get there. You can work with it, but and here comes my conclusion. I think this is a good A to D and D to A. That's it. So if it's worth for you, it really comes down to what you want to use it for. I work with it now as my centerpiece for the studio, but I'm already thinking about getting me another interface with more inputs and outputs, just and a more stable driver, more efficiency, and then use the SPDIF connection on the Lyra so that I have proper DA and two channel HD, and that's it. I'm already thinking about not using the driver. And again, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's not that horrible, and a lot of people use it, obviously. But for me, when it comes to performance, it's not on par with RME. All of the pros for the ADI2 if you're using it, like the remote control options and the going up all the way to DSD, you will not get that here, but I think that's quite obvious. That's why I wasn't really digging deep into that topic. And I never felt the need to do that. If you want to go DSD, I think you need a Pyramix system or something other than Prism or RME, actually. And I don't miss that. I don't want to work with DSD. So there you have it. I hope it was useful. And if you have any more questions, then let me know and I'll try to answer it in the comments. Take care, guys.